Hi, Omega Chaos here again with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Event deck profile. So I did go to Finnish Nationals because of course Estonia still doesn't have its own nationals. So I decided to play Marincess in that event because I didn't really want to play a deck that loses to Troll and Lockbird. So I couldn't play like Darkbird or Dragonite or Black Wings. And with Marincess you can just search the Battle Ocean, then you really don't have to search after that. So overall, unfortunately, I did pretty badly in the event. I got 2 wins and 4 losses, so 2-4, which is still better than last year's result where I got pretty much no wins and just the 1 bye at the end. So the deck wasn't bad, but I think I overcooked it a little bit. So I guess let's go to the deck. So first, the monsters. A triple Marincess Blue Tank, of course, which is the main starter for this deck. Then triple Marincess Seahorse, obviously another really important card for this deck. Triple Marincess Spring Girl, the main extender for this deck. 1 Marincess Pascals, pretty good, but I decided to play only 1 because of deck space. And to be honest, I don't think I really need any more. And the 1 Marincess Mountain as another extra extender, it's pretty good in the graveyard. Then as for the non-Marincess monsters, I use 1 Gamesel Sea Turtle Kaisha. It's obviously really good against Purely and stuff like that, or Castira potentially if they go Rise or Pass, but unfortunately I didn't really get to use this card that much. Obviously in theory it's searchable with the Ice Barrier Trap card as well as Small World, but it wasn't really that good in the event. Then the main card for this deck right now, for me at least, is that 1 ADULARIA of the June Moon, which is part of the new crazy combo in this deck where you can also summon out the Water Barrier Statue, because with this card you can Spasmoid if you have a face-up card in Spell Trap Zone, and then you can send 2 cards from Spell Trap Zone to the graveyard to send any level 4 lower monster from the deck to the graveyard, which then obviously you send the Barrier Statue, and then you can summon it back with Coral Anemone. So that one is really good. You can search this card with the Ice Barrier Trap as well as the Small World as well. So that one is really good. Not sure if I will play any more than 1, maybe in the future, but I didn't really have any real issue to getting access to this card in the event at least. So we'll see in the future. Then I use 1 Abyss Shark as well, another extra extender. I can also search it out with Ice Barrier Trap and Small World as well. Definitely pretty good, I will say, but I'm not sure if I will still continue using this card, because obviously this card does play into Troll, and you can't really use it under Troll much either. Then I use 1 Dream Shark, which is the main Small World Breach, because it has 0 attack, which means you can banish any of your hand traps, then you banish this 1 attack, and then search any of your Marincess starters pretty much. So definitely is a really good card for that, and it's a pretty good extender as well if you try. Then the 1 Minaruka as the search target for Abyss Shark, mainly pretty decent, but I'm not sure if it's really that great, so I might take it out. And then the main MVP for me in the event was Barrier Statue of the Torrent, because obviously if this card is on the field, your opponent cannot, or Needle Prayer can summon anything other than water attribute monsters. Definitely really good. Of course you can protect this card as well, because they can't attack into it if you have Argonaut on the field, and if you have Marble Rock, they can't attack over it. So definitely is a really good card for sure. As for some hand traps, so I use triple Ash Blossom and Jaw Spring. Pretty decent, I guess, but unfortunately it was pretty mediocre for me in the event. I didn't draw it against Branded, unfortunately, so yeah. Then I use triple Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, which unfortunately was pretty useless for me in the event. I just pretty much just banished it for small world most of the time. So, and I didn't really go up against super heavy samurai or pearly either. So, not that great. And in the future, of course, with the new format, I will probably take it out. And then you use triple effect Veiler as well. Decide to use this instead of as permanents because this is a hand trap I can banish for small words, so I can search out my Marincess starter cards. Definitely still pretty good, I guess. Then the spell cards and traps. Of course, I use one Marincess Spell Ocean, the main card of the deck. You want to, of course, always have access to it, and also it's important for the Adularia combo as well. So, of course, you want to equip your Marincess links to your monster, so then you can summon Adularia and then send those links to the graveyard to send them Marincess to the graveyard. Then one Marincess Dive. Of course, I don't really even have a second one, but I think one is fine, more or less. Then triple Cyanide Mining, because obviously I want to have the consistency despite troll existing in the format, and I think it's still very important. And of course, I use triple small word as well, obviously for extra consistency, as well as being able to search out cards like Adularia with it as well, or even Kaiju. Definitely really good card and new addition to this deck. Then I run triple Foolish Burial Goods to send Ice Barrier trap card to the graveyard. So of course really important to search out your Adularia and stuff like that. Then use one Cobra Grave, of course, obviously. Then one Marincess Wave, always to search out with Coral Triangle, very good trap card. The last card in the main deck is one Ice Barrier, because obviously it's really good to send with Foolish Burial Goods, and the way this card works, it does actually work on the roll as well, because it sends to the graveyard, and then you add something back from the graveyard pretty much. Definitely really important to get access to your Adularia and some other cards, and of course you can get access to your Kaiju as well, going second. Definitely a really good card, but obviously it kinda sucks to draw, or even as a trap card, it's, I guess, pretty decent. Let's see the next deck. So use one Marincess Argonaut, obviously still really important, obviously. Negate spells, and of course prevents your opponent from attacking anything else if it's in extra monster zone. So it protects your Barrier Statue from being run over by battle as well. Then one Marincess Great Bubble Reef, pretty good as well, but I don't think I really used it in the event that much. One Marincess Marbled Rock, because for the minimal Barrier Statue combo, you're going to have this on the field as well as Barrier Statue, and this you can discard the Marincess monster if they take the attack, and then the monster won't be destroyed by battle, and you take no damage as well. That only protects your Barrier Statue for sure. Then one Marincess Coral Triangle, which is of course really good to search out your trap card, as well as really good for follow-up as well with the graveyard effect. Then around two Marincess Coral Anemone, obviously really important for this deck. Of course revive your Barrier Statue sent to the graveyard, stuff like that. Then one Marincess Crystal Heart to make your link monster unaffected by card effects, definitely really good. Then two Marincess Sea Angel, obviously, such a Marincess spell cards. Two Marincess Blue Slug, obviously as well, very important. Then one Worldsea Dragon Atlantis, pretty good as well, but I didn't really get to use this card in the event. Then one number 4 Stealth Dragon, pretty good I guess, in theory at least. Definitely with a Bishak it's pretty good, you can exist into it. Potentially have an interruption even if you can't get access to Battle Ocean. But it wasn't that great in the event, I think. And I do have a chance to potentially burn in time, but I might take it out in the future and put Splash Mage back in. And then of course the one Palmut Shark. We must of course summon the Toad from the X deck. And of course we still use that totally awesome, totally broken as well, because obviously it's still really good. As of course Omni Negates are always good, as you need as much of this as possible, because all of your end boards are pretty weak, especially if you don't have Barrier Statue. And now of course I'm also going to show the side deck, which I normally don't do in normal deck profiles, but with the event ones I think it's pretty good to show the side deck as well. So I use triple Tron Lockbird, decided using in the side deck instead of main deck because I thought there was going to be a lot of kind of different decks and that troll won't be as good against. And yeah, I think it's probably better in the side, and I still think so as well. Then around triple, Nibiru, the primal being in the side deck. I guess pretty good, of course, against any combo decks that can't put the negate up before the 5th summon. As well, of course, against Castira as well, if they go for full summon lock. Unfortunately, this card was pretty mediocre for me in the event. I didn't draw against Castira at all. And yeah, it's definitely not that great right now. And unfortunately, drew 2 many of these in one duel as well. Then I ran triple, Dark Rule and no more, because of course I was very afraid of Super Heavy Samurai. Obviously, I guess they could, of course always summon the spell cancel, but you do have to go through hoops to actually summon that. So I think Dark Rule, in theory, I think it still would have been pretty good against Super Heavy Samurai. But of course, I didn't play against any Super Heavy Samurai deck, so this wasn't that good either. Then around 2, Cosmic Cyclone, because I'm still pretty afraid of back row decks. Again, I didn't face any back row decks, so this didn't really come up much at all. And of course, I used that one Harvest Featherduster for the same reason. Was useful once, I guess, but I unfortunately still lost because of time. And of course, triple, evenly matched. That's the last side card, obviously. Pretty good against almost everything aside from Super Heavy Samurai. But yeah, unfortunately I didn't draw this card. I'm not sure if I even signed it in. So yeah, I think it's obviously again I was really pretty afraid of like Labyrinth and Trap Tricks, but again I didn't really play against any of those. So that's it for this deck list. So now let's show you the main combo and also talk about some matchups as well. So now let's show you the main combo for this deck. Obviously you can still do the combo with without Spring Girl or any extender, but then you can just make the Marvel Dork plus Para Statue. But let's do the best one you can do in the combo. So we know someone Marincess Blue Tank, and then send Marincess Seahorse to the graveyard. Then link 1 into Marincess Blue Slug, obviously targeting the Seahorse, and then it's going free as well, but obviously not going to add anything, so because obviously you want to play under troll as well. You need that Bell Ocean to do anything. Let's pass 1, the Seahorse. Then link 1 again. To Sea Angel, and then search out the Bell Ocean. And then activate it. Then link 2 of these. The Corona mana. And then use Bowser effect to equip these 2 to the spell trap zones. And then what you're going to do, you're going to activate your Foolish Burial Goods. Send Ice Predator to the graveyard. Then activate it from the graveyard effect, banish it. To send Adularia to the graveyard, and then add it to your hand. Then just pass on it and use the effect to send these to the graveyard, send the Paralysis to the graveyard as well. And then you can use Coralana's effect and actually revive it. You can put it in attack, defense, doesn't really matter. I guess defense is probably better. And now what you can do is you can activate Spring Girl banish the Sea Angel, Spasmite. Then you link 3. Into Coral Triangle. Obviously you can mill as well, but that doesn't really matter. Applying my dad, he might just to the hand, doesn't really matter which one. I'm just going to use the Coral Triangle's effect. Send it to the graveyard. And add the Marincess wave from the deck to the hand. Stand, and then going to link 4 and go for Marincess Argonaut. Make the Pollution again, obviously it's not once per turn. Equip these 3 to your spell and absence. And that pretty much is your full board and your hand as well. You can activate from the hand, of course, if you control a link 3 or higher Marincess monster. So it's a 3-card combo, so then your opponent won't be able to spell on anything other than water-type monsters. They can't attack into it because of Argonaut's effect that is in the extra monster zone. They can't attack anything else other than Argonaut, which has 4,300 attack points. Then it's a spell negate with Argonaut as well, and then you also have monster negate with Marincess wave, which also makes your monsters unaffected by card effects as well for a turn. So I think most of the time this combo wins you the game. So now let's talk about some matchups. So basically in the first round I went up against Castira and I lost the die roll. They go first, they go for the fulls, not the full zone lock combo, the free zone locks and rise hearts, stuff like that. Unfortunately I didn't have any hand traps or anything to stop my opponent. So I lost the first duel. In the second duel, I did basically this. I went for the Pirate Statue combo. My opponent couldn't out it and went for game 3. But my opponent did the same again. And I couldn't really do anything. And the Diablosis banished my Kaiju as well from the deck. So I couldn't even search it with Small World. So that was very unfortunate. I lost the first round. Second round, I went up against Tritron. I lost the die roll again. They go first. They go for something, but I think my opponent made a misplay and just made a relinquished Anima Pass, which was very surprising for me. So I pretty much won from there, more or less. Then in the second duel, of course I go second. I sided in Tron and Lockbird. And I drew 2 of them, so and Tron and Lockbirded my Tritron opponent, and my opponent I couldn't do anything with that, but I did tactics me and actually sent away my Marincess starter, but still left the second troll in Lockbird in my hand. But I drew another starter and I could actually go from there more or less, and my opponent couldn't do anything about it because I had the second roll and stuff like that. So I did win 1 round at least. Then the third round, I went up against another Estonian, and who played Branded. The first duel I lost pretty much because it just was too much to play through. I probably should have scooped it up earlier. Then in the second duel, I did the Pirate Statue combo, pretty much like this, and my opponent couldn't really do anything. In the third duel, there wasn't that much time left, and my opponent went first. They did pretty much the full combo, more or less. And then it was up to me to break it, and I could have forced tie, but I tried to play through, and I tried to add some to like Spring Girl Burn or use Stealth Kraken, but I searched out Kaiju. But unfortunately, I did the wrong thing, pretty much, which means that my opponent used Cartesia and used Coem and Cartesia to summon out Masquerade, which put me in a really awkward position because there was only a minute left, or under a minute, and of course you have to play something, so can't just stall obviously, and I fortunately then couldn't really win the game. So yeah, that was very unfortunate, but happens. I should have screwed it up earlier in game 1, but yeah, happens, I guess. So then we go to the 4th round. So at that point, I wasn't going to top, obviously. So I just had to win 3 rounds in a row to at least the top 16 and get the mat and sleeves. So I go up against Vanadium. Unfortunately, I don't really know Vanadium that well as a deck. So, and in the first duel, I completely fumbled the bag, pretty much, because I completely forgot to actually equip Marincess with Battle Ocean, so I could use Adularia. So, which means I realized it, and then had to summon another coral randomly. So, which means I had one less extender to go for the Argonaut. So I had to do a minimal combo, but fortunately that wasn't enough. And because some of the Vanadium, I think Vanadium Meek is water attribute, they could actually play through this combo, because also Coral Dragon is water as well, so they could just destroy this and then go from there, which was pretty unfortunate. I unfortunately lost the duel, which I probably should have won, because then I could have made something, could have searched out the wave at least, and then negate the Coral Dragon. Like completely, that was completely my fault, and very unfortunate. But in second duel I did win with this combo more or less. And in the third duel I sided in Nibiru's and Dark Rulers, because I thought they were going for the Vanadium full combo with multiple negates. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. They just set one and passed. I had 2 Nibiru's in my hand and 2 Dark Rulers and something else they couldn't do anything with. I think it was the Ice Barrier trap card. Not sure completely, I don't remember. Then I drew Seahorse. I almost want the Seahorse, go for Blue Slug, but I had the Impermanence. So then it was then their turn, and they drew something that they could actually play with, and then they made the Vanadium Synchro that attacks twice, or like as many tune as you use for it, basically. And I couldn't Nibiru it, because apparently they made it under 5 summons. So that was very unfortunate, and they did a lot of damage to me. Then it was my turn. William may think I probably made another misplay. When I made Toad and something else. But I probably should have just gone for the unaffected Argonaut, probably. So unfortunately I lost it, because then in their turn they just made the Baron and something else, and the Fusion, I think they made the Fusion, and then I was pretty much destroyed from there, I guess. So I lost the 4th round as well. So at that point I was definitely very demoralized. And the 5th round was against Castilla again. I'm not sure why Castilla was in the lower brackets, but that was really weird. And of course I lost the die roll again. In the Vanadium match I actually did win the dice roll, obviously. So they went first, made the full against someone combo more or less. Couldn't do anything again, didn't draw anything good to stop them. And then the second duel I went first, obviously, and they had Shifter. And again, I think lost. That was one of the shortest duels I think I've ever had, shortest matches, I mean. So completely, that was my worst match for sure. Like the Castilla games were pretty much like, unwinnable more or less. Then there's the last round, which was, I guess, Mahmek. And I did win a dice roll, so I went first and did pretty much this. But this time I had Marble Rock instead, obviously. Which of course, if you don't know, obviously, is this card, so. And that was enough to win the game, pretty much. They actually did troll me, but I was still able to play through it, because of course the Ice Pirate Trap card still works 100 roll, so my opponent was pretty confused about that, so they actually asked the charge for it, and then the charge explained to my opponent that actually I can use it. So 100 roll. And then the second duel, my opponent went first, set 3 cards and passed. So yeah, I guess they didn't throw any like engine cards. So they activate Artist Spell, but thankfully I was still able to play something and then set all my spells pretty much. And then they still didn't throw into any engine pieces, and I was pretty much able to win from there, more or less. So that was my tournament experience. Unfortunately, very unfortunate, but a lot of very unfortunate mistakes by me, but also really bad luck as well. I only won 2 die rolls out of 6, which is, I guess, fine, pretty normal for me. But yeah, they didn't really throw very well in some of the matches. But there wasn't that many problems with consistency. I think consistency was pretty good for this deck. Maybe I should have made more hand traps, but with the ADULARIA combo, it does take up a lot of deck space. So that's the downside of this particular combo version, I guess. So I definitely will try to improve the deck in the future. And funnily enough, when top 8 was happening, the new ban list was announced, which was really crazy. So yeah, so I have to make a video in the future about the ban list as well. So I hope you enjoyed my Yu-Gi-Oh event deck profile. For now, goodbye and Marincess out.